The knife paused halfway to my mouth. Turkey cooled on my plate. 12 people, one table. Every face angled toward me like a jury that had already decided. I smiled. I took out my phone, and I called my bank manager. "Freeze account," I said calmly. "Final 17. My wife's laugh died first. Her mother's followed. The silence after was surgical. That's when the lies began to bleed. I didn't plan to destroy my marriage at a Christmas dinner, but I did plan to stop pretending. They thought I was weak because I stayed quiet. They mistook restraint for submission. That mistake cost them everything. When I met my wife, she told me she loved my steadiness, said I made her feel safe. I believed her. I built a life around that promise. Long hours, clean records, my name on the risk, her name on the comforts. Her family never liked that I didn't flash money. They liked spending it, though. Loans dressed up as favors, emergencies that only existed on weekends. I paid. I always paid, because that's what you do when you think you're protecting something real. Trust is expensive. Betrayal is cheaper. That's why it sells faster. The first crack was small. A notification lighting up her phone at 2:17 a.m. She rolled away from me to read it. I watched the ceiling fan turn. Once. Twice. I said nothing. Then there were the consulting meetings, new clothes, cash withdrawals that didn't match our accounts. My name was on everything, yet I felt like a guest in my own house. I didn't confront her. I audited. I learned that love makes people sloppy, but greed makes them predictable. Patterns emerged. Transfers to an account I didn't recognize. Documents uploaded at odd hours. A second phone hidden in the trunk under a first aid kit. Clever. Almost. The message that confirmed it all wasn't even dramatic, just efficient. "We'll move the rest after Christmas. He won't notice until January." No anger, no shouting, just a cold acceptance. The kind that settles in your bones and doesn't leave. That's when I stopped being her husband and became her problem. I didn't rush. Revenge done right needs patience. I let the holidays approach. I let them plan. I let her mother rehearse her speeches about my financial irresponsibility. I let my wife smile at me like she hadn't been siphoning money through shell accounts with her cousin's firm. I met with lawyers quietly, accountants even quieter. I learned which switches mattered, which codes ended conversations, which signatures froze worlds. Final 17. A contingency I'd set up years ago after watching a colleague lose everything in a divorce he never saw coming. It required my voice, in person or on record. No email, no undo. I waited for the moment they'd feel safest. Christmas dinner, her mother's house, candles, carols, a table full of people who thought they knew me. She leaned back in her chair and said it, loud enough to sting, soft enough to sound reasonable. "Stop begging for money. It's embarrassing." Everyone nodded, even my wife, especially my wife. That's when I smiled. The bank manager didn't ask questions. He knew my tone. I heard keys tapping, then the confirmation. Done. I set the phone down, picked up my fork, took a bite. My wife's phone buzzed, then her mother's, then her uncle's. One by one, faces drained of color as accounts locked and cards declined in real time. She stared at me like she'd never seen me before. "What did you do?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I let the room answer for me. Her cousin bolted for the door, already calling his lawyer. Her mother demanded explanations. Accusations flew. Lies tripped over each other trying to escape. I stood. "I'm not begging," I said. "I'm collecting." I looked at my wife, finally, really looked. "I know about the second phone," I added. "The transfers, the plan to disappear in January." She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. "I gave you everything," I continued. You turned it into leverage. I picked up my coat, left copies of documents on the table. Not everything, just enough. As I walked out, I heard the sound of a family collapsing under the weight of its own appetite. Outside, the air was clean, cold, honest. I didn't feel joy. I felt balance return. Some people think revenge is loud, messy, emotional. They're wrong. Real revenge is quiet, legal, precise. It's letting them realize too late that the person they underestimated was the only thing holding them up. And when you finally let go, you don't fall. They do.